Good morning. Welcome to Time in His Word. I'm up here in Minnesota, and they got like what they refer to as a dusting yesterday. It was snowing. It was flurries. The wind was blowing. It covered the grass. The roads were fine. I seen a snowplow or two out, but they weren't really doing anything because the wind was blowing so bad. But it got me to thinking: if the same thing had happened at home, the schools probably would have closed. Would have been a run on the grocery stores for the milk and bread and eggs, and just the comparison of the two for the same amount of snow is a world's difference. And so a lot of times, we might, as a Christian, we might look at somebody in comparison, which we shouldn't do, but we do because we're human, and that's a natural instinct. We see somebody, they have a stronger walk, or it just seems life goes better for them, or whatever the reason, and we're kind of a little bit envious about what that person is doing different than what we're doing, in our walk in Christ. And we shouldn't do that. Now, it's all right to find out, maybe ask them if they study the Bible more, questions like that, being inquisitive. But to be comparison, that's not what we should be doing, because we don't know all of their circumstances, just like they don't know ours. They might be looking at us and thinking, man, he's got the tiger by the tail. It doesn't look like nothing bothers him. Well, deep inside, we're going through a struggle with, family crisis or job-related crisis or some other crisis, but outwardly appearance, we still maintain that look like everything's going good. And so we have to be careful when we're comparing what we're doing and what somebody else is doing in their walk in Christ. After Peter had denied Christ on the cross, he went fishing, and then Christ come and followed him, and he forgave him. And there's a verse that's used, and I find it a little hard to understand at times. But I think in this morning, the way I'm talking about comparison, I think this verse fits in. And so starting in John 21, verse 20, and I'm going to read down through 22. It says, so he's found the disciples back at Peter back at the fishing, and he's talking to him. And Peter, turning around, saw the disciples whom Jesus loved following them. The one who had leaned back at his bosom at the supper and said, Lord, who is the one who betrays you? So Peter, seeing him, said to Jesus, Lord, what about this man? Jesus said to him, if I want him to remain until I come, what is that to you? You follow me. Therefore this saying went out among the brethren, that the disciples would not die. Yet Jesus did not say to him that he would not die, but only, I want him to remain until I come. What is that to you? And I've always struggled with that passage, but I think what it's saying is, to me, is that Jesus is telling Peter, don't worry about that guy over there. Whatever I have him doing, that's what I have him doing. You do what I have you doing, and you follow me the best you can. Don't worry about that other guy. And we need to try and remember that in our daily walk, that that other person, we don't, like I said before, we don't know what they're going through, but yet outwardly their walk might appear stronger than ours, and they're struggling with daily struggles just as bad as we are. So we need to try and not compare our walk with somebody else's, but just do as this passage says: follow Jesus and do what he has us doing, and don't worry about the other guy, because the other guy has already been taken care of.